Hello everybody, it is I, Desmo Flynn. I am here giving you a rundown of my budget sheet. The reason I'm giving this out is because I've been asked several times over, what do I use to budget my expenses and make it so that I'm organized and able to live sort of paycheck to paycheck. This is the how-to guide of how to use the spreadsheet that I provide and how you can use it and pop in your own stuff. Now, we're going to start over in column A, B, C, and D. Now, in A, as you can see, it's labeled our expenses. So as you can see, I've got it labeled as bills. So these are the things that come out every 2 weeks or every month or whatever, and this is where you put it here, assuming that you get paid once every 2 weeks. So in most cases, we have our rent, we have our phones, we have our car payments, insurance, and another bill that I'm going to, this is just a monthly recurring charge, so we'll give it a miscellaneous name, so something like Spotify. And then the rest of it, you can leave it blank. It'll automatically populate because I've got these set up to have, as you can see, the numbers between B2 and B14, and it'll add it all up. So pay one, so this would be the paycheck that you would use to pay everything in the beginning of the month. So anything that comes out, we'll just use a month that starts Sunday to Saturday, and it just happened to start on the 1st and end on the 7th. Now for the first 2 weeks, so the 1st to the 14th, that's what'll be coming out of this paycheck 1. From the 15th to the 28th, it'll be coming out of paycheck 2, and then it'll repeat process for pay 1 and then pay 2 and so on and so forth. So rent, most places charge rent at, in where I live at least, $1,600 every month. So if we divvy it up to $800 every 2 weeks, it's a little easier to keep track. And then it also already adds how much is coming out of your paycheck to go into your monthly expenses. Phones, so your phone bill, we'll say that it comes out on the 1st of every month and it's only $120. These are by no means an accurate representation as to what I have for my expenses. This is just for example purposes. Now, in my case, I do have a car payment that comes out every 2 weeks, and we'll say that it comes out every 2 weeks in the form of $240. Now, your statement might show that it comes out in with small changes in like change and stuff. By all means, it can do that. However, it's always best to round it up to the nearest 5. So if, say, it's like 238 and 25 cents, it's just easier to round it up to 240. Insurance, that comes out once a month. Again, mine happens to come out in the first 2 weeks, so I'm able to add that, and I think it's just under $200. But again, we're rounding it up to 200 just because of example purposes. Spotify, if we have that come out on, say, the 23rd of every month, in the most notable case, it's $10 a month, $9.99. All the prices I've put in here are Canadian, so again, it all works for whatever you need it for. So if you just use American pricing, then it works. If you use Canadian pricing, it works as well. That's all for this bit here. And again, you can add numbers to these parts here, but so far our monthly expenses equal about $24.10. Now, for the first check, you have to make sure at least $13.60 goes into your account. This is after tax deductions. This is what gets deposited into your bank. Whatever your paycheck is, we'll put that in here. So say, for example, it was you worked a solid 80-hour week at $19 an hour, and you managed to pull home $14.30 and some change. You will put the exact change of what you have in there. So $14.30 and some change, so we'll say $14.30 and 26 cents. So after deducting your bills from the paycheck, it tells you how much you have left over, being $70.26. Now that'll go into another section, which, as you can see, is in M, N, O, and P, but again, we'll cross that bridge in a second. This in bank check 1, This is what you would put into the account, or what is already in the account when you get paid. So say you had the check before and you managed to have 22 cents left over. So you'd put 0.22, and there you go. It's already set up. The next thing you would do is look at this excess funds section over here. This adds the in-bank check 1 and the check 1 remainder and tells you how much you have left for spending. The miscellaneous stuff, again, all of this is programmed to be reduced from here, so then you get with what you're left over with. So say you didn't have to spend any excess money, like you didn't have to buy gas, you didn't have to buy a soda, you didn't have to buy McDonald's or anything like that. You just took that $70 and then just left it in there. You got $70, what I call savers. If, say, you did have some food expenditures, so say your food or groceries. Now, these ones are your flexible expenditures. So this is the stuff that you don't need to pay every single time you get paid, but stuff that you can move around. So say groceries only cost you $50. Very rare world, but say it only cost you $50. You have $20.48 left over in your savings. You could do with that as you wish. But my point is that you can change this miscellaneous side to be whatever you need it to be. Now we're going to get into excess funds too. So again, you just need to make sure that at least $10.50 goes into your account. You managed to work the exact same amount as you worked last week, and there was no extra bonus or anything like that, and you got the same amount, $14, $30, and 26 cents. It deducts that, and this is what you have left over. It takes these two numbers and says this is how much you have left over from all of your bills, and then say you had that $20.48, you could add that $20.48, you could put that $20.48 in the bank check too, or whatever you had left over. So say you took that $20 and saved it, you had 48 cents. Now it tallies what you had, the $3.80 and 26, plus the change in your account, and there you go. You got $3.80 and 74. Same process, put in your miscellaneous expenditures, and of course you have your leftovers, and you just go from there. Now, the section that I left out was this middle section here, because it really doesn't pertain too much to either side yet, but say you have leftover bills, like say you have a phone bill that's behind, overdue phone, or OD phone, and then you had $220 that you owe the bank or the phone company or whatever. You have your credit card CC for short, and you owe $1,200 on it. Not $12,000, but $1,200. This entire debt section all adds up to this number here. This debt question mark is stuff that you think you owe, but you aren't sure, but you just need confirmation before you can add it. So just in case, you can anticipate that you have a debt getting added. So say, for example, you have leftovers from your taxes or your back taxes, or you took a benefit from the government and they asked for the taxes back on it. You aren't sure whether it's going to be there or not, so just in case you anticipate that you owe for the CERB benefit, we'll say, because this is being recorded in 2021 after the 2020 fiasco, you can put the $1,800 there that you owe to the government, or you may owe to the government, and it'll actually add it to the total debt, which is this number here. And then this number is just the stuff that you know is for sure how much you have left owing on your stuff. And then say if you are in my case and you have back taxes left over of approximately $1,000. I'm just rounding it around. These ones you can either round up or you can put to the exact number, but it's best to put it to the exact number so then you know exactly how much you owe. After all that, you just move it around. So if you wanted to take that $20 and you put it over in here and you went debt. Doesn't matter what debt you paid off, just put in that you paid $20 to that debt. From there you can reduce the debt that you did pay. So say you paid $20 on your overdue phone, you've got $200 left, and it updates for you. And then you have $380 over here, and you decided to put $300 of that on taxes. So we'll put debt again, $300, and then we reduce taxes by $300, and you are left with $700. And as you can see, it shows you how much debt you have left and where to go from there. Like I said, in the description, I have left a link to a copy of the blank sheet. All you have to do is download it, and if it helps you, let me know. If it doesn't help you, then by all means, you can definitely delete sections, you can definitely add sections, you can do whatever you need, whatever it does to help you. This is just a base guideline in what I use. I hope, again, this helps, and if it does, please let me know, and like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thank you.